Hey folks, Michael GS here, how's it going? So today I'm going to discuss the King of Fighters XIV because there's a lot of stuff, well, there's not very much stuff on the game where fighting gamers are talking about it in videos, like to a point where they just sit down and do so. Maximilian did it, good video man, thanks a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and discuss it in my own way. So here we go. King of Fighters XIV, guys, made by SNK, they are back. The classic fighting game company from the 90s and 2000s, which has had a bit of a storied history and a bit of a troubled history even, has returned after doing Pachinko for a while, and obviously that went downhill, so now they're back to making video games once again, and this is what we got. We got the King of Fighters XIV. It's their first release since becoming SNK again, not SNK Playmore, that name is gone. So we've got SNK Classic, they're back. And how does the game fare? This is the question, I guess. So, before I do anything, I want to address something which I won't touch on for too long, but I need to do it. So if I enter training mode for a second, people do not like the graphics, or the graphics are a big deal to people. Now, I completely understand that. I'm not against people liking graphics, but here's a caveat. And Maximilian said it too, I'm going to borrow it. If you play this game, you're going to sit down for half an hour and you're going to look at the game and you're going to have a look at the graphics and you're going to be like, these graphics are a bit meh, maybe you'll like them, I don't know. But if you sit down and you instantly think the graphics do not look good, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh my god, what is this, then that's only going to last about half an hour. Once you actually start playing the game, once you get into the game, once you start realizing what you can do in the game, you're going to change your tune. This game is extremely... It's interesting because this game has a lot of stuff you can do. So like you're going to be doing cool stuff, you know, you're going to be trying out the characters, and within half an hour you're going to be like, it's not going to be what are the graphics, it's going to be like, what can I do to extend this particular thing I'm doing right now, what can I do to extend this? So you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be, you know, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be trying to do your own thing, and you're going to be trying to figure out what can be done to make stuff a hell of a lot better. And when you're doing that, you're gonna eventually find stuff. So you're gonna, you know, like the graphics for me are not a big deal. I never cared in the first place. I actually thought the game looked fine for what it was. I mean, the game is in 3D. It's not 2D sprites this time, guys. You're gonna be doing stuff like this, and then you're gonna cancel into this, and you're gonna be doing some pretty neat and awesome stuff. So, why do I bring it up why do I bring this up first? It's because it's the elephant in the room. There's too much stuff about, oh my god, the graphics are bad, so I'm not going to pick the game up. But the problem is, the graphics might not be up to par for you, but the gameplay will certainly be up to par for you. The gameplay, it's 60 frames. It's got interesting systems. You're going to be sitting there and you're going to be looking for what you can do to improve your game. You're gonna not care about the graphics after a while. You're gonna be beating up your mate, or you're gonna be playing online, or you're gonna be doing something and looking for the answers to doing cool new stuff, to cool new tech and whatever. And the graphics are just gonna look like an afterthought to a point. I mean, this looks great in motion. I absolutely love it in motion. And that background, oh my god, this stage is my favorite stage. Oh my god, this stage is the glory, people. The glory. See, if I could land this, I could show you like how cool it looks, but yeah. So that's the elephant in the room, and that's the reason why I bring it up first. Graphics aren't everything, guys. Fighting games have never been about graphics. Fighting games can use graphics to pull people in, but at the end of the day, it's about competition, it's about learning to play the game, it's about finding new cool tricks, stuff for yourself, using max mode to extend your combos. It's all about that. It's not about graphics, and people need to give the game a go for themselves and actually see that it's good. So, with that out of the way, the game has a plethora of stuff you can do. Like, they've got story mode, aka arcade mode. Now, I'm going to be honest, story mode it's pretty basic. It's not something you're gonna sit there and think, oh my god, this story mode's amazing. But you're gonna sit there and think this was a nice little run through thing. And doing story mode unlocks the 2 characters at the bottom, aka Antonov and Verse. You'll wanna run through it just to, you know, to enjoy it. I mean, it's arcade mode. Everyone does arcade mode, right? You're gonna run through it. You're gonna unlock these 2, and you're gonna unlock the. If you do it as a team, so like if you do, you know, 3 in a team. So like if you actually do the teams, you're gonna unlock the special endings for each team, and then you can do the special teams, which I'm not gonna mention because you'll figure out what they are eventually. But you're about to do the special teams. You're about to go in here and pick the special teams out and unlock their endings too. It's cool. It's good stuff. It's bare bones, as I said. The story doesn't make too much sense. A bunch of people sent to an island to fight each other, to make their way to the top, and then suddenly a boss appears. It's all very 90s-ish, if you know what I mean. Pretty cool though. It's good stuff. Give it a go. Versus mode. Now this is where you're gonna face somebody in teams or singles, either as AI or a mate in your house, and it's good stuff. It's a bug. I don't know if it still exists, where if the second player sets their controls, it's actually setting the first players too. This does not affect the online, it only affects offline. I'm not sure if it still exists, as I said. If it does, then be aware of that. Otherwise, that's good stuff as well. You know, that's gonna propel you forward. You can test your might, so to speak. Training mode, I was just in there. Now, let's actually discuss training mode as an actual thing. And let's choose a different character for that reason. Training mode is a full suite. As usual, you'd expect it to be. It is a full suite that you can use to learn to play the video game. So you're going to have a lot of options at your fingertips to do so. So, as you can expect even, once you're in, you've got all the basic stuff. You can actually remove the HUD, guys. If you want to just record something for fun, or take a screenshot, you can remove the HUD and get a nice picture like that. You can also turn on attack data and key data to get, you know, the information in the corners for what you've done. Obviously I'm moving about and messing with my stick, and you can see it all just moving. You can also choose the way that they recover, the way they counter, the way they guard, how they are. So they can be crouching, they can come forward. You can actually set them to forward. That is so cool. You can set them to go backwards if you want to try something. You can set them to dash, backstep, jump, small jump, forward jump, small forward jump. There are so many options, guys. You can even set like player controls. You can set it to a mate to play. You can also set it like to the CPU, where you actually get to choose the level. You could choose like CPU level 5, which actually becomes a bit of a beast, as you can see. And then you've got other stuff, like you can set your power gauge, so you can make it limitless to test your stuff. You've got the max mode gauges, the guard gauge, stun gauges, which I usually turn off. So you're gonna use this to the best of advantage to learn the video game. Oh, and you can also, of course, record by it's not actually in the menu, but you can use the L3 and R3 to record and play back a character's movements and stuff. So it's good stuff. You can make them do whatever the hell you want. And trust me, you're going to spend a lot of time in here if you end up picking up the video game. So that's training mode, folks. Full plethora of stuff, and it's literally what you want as a training mode. So that'll help you get into the video game, hopefully. If you're new to King of Fighters, so if you're new to King of Fighters, know that the game is a hell of a lot easier to get into this time. It's not as hard as 13. It's not as crazy as the old ones. It's got stuff that you can literally come into as a noob. I use that in the nicest way, by the way. As a new person, and start playing the video game. And they've got a full set of tutorials to help you do so, which will teach you from the basics, such as, moving, guarding, guard crushing, evading, blowing people back, to light attacks, heavy attacks, throwing people, the rush combos, the special moves, your cancels, your climax super SP stuff. It's all there. You're gonna learn. If you just go through this, it takes about 15 minutes if you know how to play a fighting game. you're gonna learn something by doing it. I think I've done it 5 times just for the fun. I did it a few times in when the demo came out. It just gives you, if you do it a few times, you eventually pick up stuff a bit easier, because obviously I'm not too great at King of Fighters, so that actually helped. Mission mode even allows you to take on trials for each character. So these trials allow you to do 5 separate trials for each character. So like if you choose a character, you'll be given what I would consider as a very basic set of trials. These look good on the face of it, but once you actually start playing the game, you realize that it's very basic. There's a lot more you can do. These just allow you to test a character and to give you an idea of the sort of stuff you could expect yourself to do and hopefully extend. So you'll be doing stuff in here to learn how to do stuff with that character, how stuff links, and then you'll go away and you'll be looking for those links to extend those links, to max mode those links, to do everything that you could expect, to find new options, new routes, new everything. So you know, these are really good as a starter place for people just to take a look and see what a character can do, but they're not the be all and end all. You're gonna have to actually put in some work in training mode, folks, because they are pretty basic stuff. So yeah, hopefully you're ready for that. But yep, there's 5 trials for every character, as I said, and that's a good set for each character really, because there are 50 characters. I can imagine why that's the thing. On top of that, you've got time attack mode. Time attack mode is literally what it sounds like. You face off in 10 fights against the AI and see how quick you can do it. That's a pretty typical mode. Survival mode allows you to play until your health depletes, and you can see how many you can beat up and stuff. That's all good. I've not done those 2 yet, but they're good if you just want to sit back and play the video game. I'm leaving online until last, guys. Gallery, of course, allows you to unlock stuff. So you're gonna have items, movies, sounds, and artwork. So you can, you can click on Kyo and listen to his lovely voice. And you could, I don't know, click on Kula and listen to her. That was one hell of a scream. So, you can come in here. You can look at the movies. As I said, as you play against story mode. If you play story mode, you unlock endings. I've unlocked the Japanese endings. It's the only one I've done so far. But you can unlock special endings, and there's loads and loads of endings to view in the game. There's also all the cutscenes from the game over here. You can watch every video again. You can even watch the opening cutscene, which was eventually made a trailer, I believe. So, yeah, this video was kind of hype when it came up on the internet. So, yeah, you can watch all this stuff. And you can enjoy it whenever you want, because you've unlocked it. Artwork, of course, I've not unlocked any of this. I do need to figure out how to eventually. But you can, of course, look at the other artworks you've unlocked. And yeah, good stuff to unlock in the gallery, guys. For player data, you're not going to care too much about player record, or if you're playing ranked, you will care about my ranking, maybe. I don't know. Character record, you're probably not going to care too much about that. You're going to care about my profile and replay data. My profile allows you to set an icon for your character, so I've got Athena and a title, so I've got, I don't even know what my title is at the moment, Up All Night, yep. And then you can choose if you want people to see your rank stuff. It's bare bones basic, but it's good. It gets you straight into the action. You can choose what you want. Replay data is exactly what it sounds like. You can watch your online or offline, I think, replays. So you can see who was on the right hand side, left hand side, whatever, and you can choose to watch the stuff you've done. These are my replays, and I have played a lot of this game online. This is all matches from online, folks. So yeah, they do eventually disappear. That's what the lock thing is about. If you choose to lock one, it'll stay. Otherwise, that's how that works out. So, to the most important thing, for me at least, and for most people I would imagine, is the online play. Now, before yesterday, the online play was buggy. It had slowdown issues, it had disconnect issues. Some people couldn't get online at all. It was a bit of a state. Yesterday, it released a 75 megabyte patch, give or take, which went in and fixed the netcode. It literally fixed the netcode. I mean, you can now play this game. It runs at full speed. It works extremely well. People can finally start playing. The netcode in this game is supreme, guys. That's the word I'm going to use for it. It is so good. I can play international players. I am not joking. I can play international players and it feels good, as in really, really good. Not a joke. You can actually play a lot of people in this game without issues. So yeah, it was definitely a thing when I realized that I could do that. And well, let me put it this way, it's been a lot of fun playing against people. Just because now that it works, well, you know, I can finally get my game on. So who was this again? This was me facing me versus Bosmer Lady. Okay. So, you know, let me just use a match so you get. Oh, cannot view replay data. Hello. Okay, I can watch this one. So basically, for the net play, it had issues, and it was a shame because for the longest time, KOF games, SNK in general have had issues getting netcode going, which is a shame because obviously it's kind of killed off the games online and stuff. The games have not lived too long. They kind of just die out and they end up in smaller places. There's still people that play them, but you know, they kind of die out because of it. This game will hopefully live on because finally the netcode is amazing. It's not GGPO. I don't know what they're using, but it doesn't feel like input delay either. The game runs, the netcode even runs really, really well. I can't stress it enough. I mean, as I said, I've been playing international people, which have been like, "Oh my god, I was from Canada. I didn't know you were from the UK." And when you're sitting in a lobby and somebody comes in and it says like, you know, that, and the game worked fine, and then the person looks at your profile and realizes you're from a different country entirely, or from quite far away, and they'd say, "Oh my god, that match felt really good," then you're onto something. And I've had so much of that now because I've tested against numerous international players, and I've had absolutely no issues thus far. So I definitely tell people to try it internationally as well because it's fun. You get to learn from people across the world, which we've not really been able to do very much thanks to various netcodes not living up to the expectations. Obviously Street Fighter V and various GGPO games can. But yeah, King of Fighters netcode is good, and I can't stress that enough. So, what's the final thought here? Oh wow, I can actually do that. Hello. I can see how much damage stuff did. Wow. Yo. So I've not actually used that too much yet, the replay system. That's kind of cool. So what's the final thoughts here? If you can get past the graphics. If you're looking for a good fighting game. If you want a game which feels like it's from the 90s even. If you want to go back to a time when like Samurai Showdown, Garou and stuff all existed, then King of Fighters 14 is here, and it's doing it the way the SNK are used to, and they probably are enjoying it too because, you know, it's just their way of doing it now, and it's always been their way of doing it even. So if you're looking for a good fighting game, you've got it here. This is it. King of Fighters 14 is finally the King of Fighters we've all been waiting for. Not 2002, because 2002 and 98 are great, but the online is terrible. Not 13, because the online is terrible, except for on PC. On PC it's a lot better, but not great by any means. 14 is here. It's got the net play you need. It's got the features to get you into the game. It's got a reasonably fun trials system, which allows you to try out 5 for each character, but they're not great, as I said before. Full training suite, good versus stuff, a story aka arcade mode, which Street Fighter is still missing, and so much more. This game is full of stuff for you to do. There's 50 characters. There's going to be at least 3 people in here for you. Come in and try it, guys. Give it a go if you know somebody with the game and you can't get it yourself yet. Ask them if you can play it with them, or even better, watch streams and stuff and ask questions that you need to know. to maybe even buy this game. If you want to know stuff about this game, check out my channel and I will literally answer questions for you, or check out anybody else's. I'm pretty sure they'll be happy to do so. But yes, King of Fighters gets a solid 9 out of 10 from me, guys. The only reason I'm docking it a little bit is because I would have preferred the story mode to be a bit more in depth. But that's just me. But there we go. I think that's pretty good. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thanks, folks. Goodbye.